Did you hear that music? Yeah, I changed my start a little bit. Excited about that. Hello and welcome back. We are here with Betsy. This is called Railroads Online. If you've never played it before, it is a game made by, I almost want to say railroad fanatics. They are paying really close attention to a lot of things in this game, which is, I would say, awesome. Actually, it's really, if you like trains, this is the game you want to go to. There's some music that goes on in the background and all that stuff, and it's great. But this game, honestly, it does something. It's a total sandbox game, but it is just sophisticated enough that you will not get bored of it. What's going on here? Well, you have a map. I'm just calling this on M, but for everyone that joins right now, hey, Anthony, if anyone has this game and wants to play, please go to Discord. On the announcement channel is the password, the server name, and the region that you need to play with me on Steam. Everyone's welcome. This is pretty much an open session. I know a couple people have mentioned that they may want to try it, so come on in. Please, the more the merrier. On the Discord channel, please and thank you. But yes, we have the map right here. We are near the freight depot. It's right over there. There's a building that you can barely see from right here. But everything is there that you need. Now the thing is, the railroad tracks that you see right here are the only railroad tracks on the map. There's nothing else currently available. You are responsible for building everything else. This is a multiplayer game, as I just mentioned, and I think I have it set up to allow 32 people. I think you can set this to 64 or more. Obviously, at some point, latency is going to be an issue. Hope that's not going to be a problem for us today, but a lot of people can work on this. And what you do, I'll just give you a quick overview. You are responsible to not drive into trees. One of the things they changed is trees do no longer cost money. If you press P, you can actually call up this menu that tells you how many XP you have, how many funds you have, and all that other stuff. I did chop down a couple trees that were in this area because they were already blocking it, and I decided that we're going to start a new game simply because some of the updates they brought out recently, one placed trees back on the tracks, which I ran into 5 of them in the first 5 minutes of testing. So I was just like, nope, every time there's a derailment, it's just waste of time, honestly, not a fan. But here you go. And then you have a little menu over here, construction menu. This is G, where you can buy rails. Yeah, that makes sense. You can buy bridges, also makes sense. Clicking the wrong buttons here is not helping. Bridges, groundwork, this is super important because if you use this, you can actually make really pretty looking track. Then you have facilities like a water tower. You have to refill your steam engines with water, and you only have steam engines. A sand house, some of your engines will have sand or a sander that's supposed to help for going up and down the slopes when it's slippy. The developers say right now it doesn't make a huge difference, but once they get the weather added and other things, this will be much more of a thing. But it's really just for wheel slippage, and as far as I know, it's implemented. There's no wheel slippage because of weather right now. Then there's a firewood depot because your steam engine needs firewood to run, and you actually have to refill your steam engines every once in a while. Plus, you can deliver wood that you need to this fire depot. Very cool. And then an engine shed. It's just cute, honestly. This is a new thing that I haven't seen before. I haven't used it, but it's pretty neat because if you pair that with, there's just a shed. Oh, it must be under rails. Yeah, there's a turntable that you can use in crossovers and switches and all this other stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's all that. Then there's stuff that you can buy, all the different cars for different cargo. Right now we have one of these flat cars, but then you can get the flat car level 2, which can transport other things. It will tell you what it can take. Freight type is lumber, raw iron, rail beam. So there are a couple different things, and then so on. Bunch of different wagons up until this guy, the hand car. Very important because if you get stuck with your locomotive all the time, you will need to get somewhere really fast. Then this is the locomotive we have right now. As far as I know, you can't name it if you want to, which is pretty nice. Right now ours is Betsy, but we have to buy one, which the base price is $2,900, which is pretty expensive in this game. Pretty expensive. But I like it. And then there's another train. This is another Betsy, has a little more capacity for wood. Then there's the Eureka, pretty train, also costs $2,900. Has a little bit more power and weight, so there's that. And then you got a couple other trains, the Climax, more expensive still, with more power again. then the Heisler, the Coke Mogul, and the Class 70. I mean, lots of trains here. This is not done by any means. It's still early access, so things are looking really good. I played it for a while, really almost exclusively on Discord, then I made a really short... yes, you can, Barton, you just go to the Discord on announcement. There's the password, the region, and the server if you want to join. Everything is wide open, just go through the Discord server, and that's the easiest. Yeah, so the different trains. The thing that was just added, which got me to get really excited about this, is the physics update. Because up until recently when I played, this little porter was one of the strongest locomotives in the game. It could essentially pull as much as the biggest train before, which was boring, wasn't exciting. So, yeah, they changed that. Now physics actually matter. And you could do math. You can do math. As far as I know, on their server, which I haven't done, they have a spreadsheet for, well, figuring out how much your locomotive can pull up a hill at 0 degrees, 1 degree, 2 degree, 4 degree, any degrees that you build your railroad tracks at, which is completely up to you, which is awesome. So we can now play this more realistically. There are a couple different settings when you start the game, and realistic is the hardest choice, which, why wouldn't you? It's just fun. It's just fun to do it that way. So all these numbers actually matter now, plus the numbers of the wagons that you're going to pull also matters, because there's an empty weight. And once you put on the cargo, there is a cargo weight associated with it as well. So, Barton, I mean, Steam gives you about 2 hours of playtime before you have to keep it. So just grab it. If you don't like it, give it back within that 2-hour time window, and then there you go. But if you want to try it out, it's pretty cool, I think. I recommend it. It's $30. They give you the older game that they had too if you buy the bundle. I think the bundle is $3 cheaper than if you buy it by itself. Not associated with these guys at all, but honestly, I just think this is a great game. A lot of people recommended it to me, and if you like trains, it's great. OTTD, more than that. But no, it's great. It's great. I like it. But this is what you saw here. And then I didn't show you this yet. There's demolish. You can demolish all the different things that you can build. There's re-rail, which I'm probably going to show you soon enough. And there's logging. Logging is literally just you click on these guys and then they fall down and eventually they disappear. And you need to do that because there are collisions in this game of everything. Collisions if your track is built terribly. Collisions if you're too close to certain buildings or places like this one. There are collisions if you run into a tree. And just collisions, collisions, collisions. A lot of collisions are going on, so don't fall into that trap. A couple other things. I did talk about this in my tutorial when I actually made one a little while ago. When you build your track, use your groundwork. There's the variable grade and a constant grade. A constant grade, I'm going to show you probably later on when I built this. Actually, no, I'm going to show you right now. Let's see. I click here, and then we have a grade here. Would you agree? Looks good. Here's the grade. And you saw me just click twice. Now, if I decide that this is not the gradient that I want, that I need them to go up higher, the gradient is applied to the whole piece of track that I just laid. Can you see that? Like everything goes up and down everywhere. So that is the constant grade. And if I want to demolish that, if I want to remove it, I just click on groundwork, demolish, remove that, remove this, and we're done. If you use the other one, the variable grade, I'm going to start in the same place and hopefully do somewhat of the same action. First click and second click. There are 2 clicks again. This is now the same. And now I decide, no, I want this to go up. Then the grade that I'm choosing here only applies to the piece I'm currently placing and not to the pieces that were already placed before. Where does this matter? When you go up a hill, if you go up a hill, there is a big chance that you don't want to have, for example, a 4% grade all the time if you can get it to a 3% grade, but you don't know how big the grade is until you're at the end of your section that you're currently building. So it's really nice to sometimes give you that opportunity or that chance to just go that route. So there you go. It's super fun. And actually, this is super useful. I use this quite a lot when I play. Okay, that's that. The last thing, this is more a tip than anything else. I didn't know this, and now I know, and it was a life changer once I find out. Oh, there's variable grade. It's more like a embankment, and then there's a variable stone wall. which instead of making a big embankment and going really wide, it's more like surrounded by stone. This is really nice for track that goes around a mountain to make it look prettier, just because it is. Trust me. Once you get into the game, you know what I mean. The last thing I will tell you, building track, if you want straight track, is not easy in this game, and I will show you why that is. Once you place your first piece of whatever track you want, it's really easy to go wonky and not right. But if you know that you just want to go straight, you can hit the left alt. If you look on the top left, there's some help stuff sitting there with all the shortcuts and some numbers. If you hit left alt, and then move your mouse a little bit, now this is no longer moving, it's actually staying straight. And that's what you want when you want to build really straight track, and it's the best way to do that. Just as a tip. And this works for all different types that you can build. That is rails, that is bridges, that is groundwork, which I think bridges are a little special because I do that on by default already. So that's all we have. Good morning from Berlin. Hey Nacht, how's it going? Just reminding everyone that wants to join, hop on the Discord server. In announcement, I posted the server name, I posted the server password, and I posted the server region, which you have to change in your Steam library. Otherwise, you can't play with me or you can't find me. And it's really straightforward. I wrote in what the instructions for that are. So yeah, that's all the stuff. Now, to build rail, it's a little finicky when you get started with it because you can do all of this, and the first piece is never locked in. But what you can do is eyeball it as straight as possible, and then the next piece, if you have the left alt clicked, and right now it's not clicked, right now it is clicked, the next piece can be really straight. Sometimes the game will give you a little bit of grief placing these, and sometimes it's just fine. You just have to get used to it. It's a little finicky, but with a little bit of practice, you will figure it out. And now you laid some track. That's this long. Beautiful. The last thing, you're actually responsible for your switches. All you have to do is go over here. Drag left or drag right. That changes the switch. And that changes this thing. If your switch is not set up correctly, you will derail. You will derail. If you're really lucky, your train may go up and over and land on the track again somewhere, but you will probably derail, and derailing is really annoying. And once we get there, I will show you what we need to do. At this point, I was hoping that someone would help me, but my buddy decided not to have time today, something with family or so. So yeah, it's all his fault. That's fine. But that's what we have. Now, the next couple of things, you're responsible for a lot of things in this train. You see this? There's a big pile of wood just sitting there. Cool. There's your regulator. Let's just look at all the things. There's a regulator. There is your cylinder cocks, which I don't believe do anything in this case. There is your reverser, forward and backwards. Yep, pretty cool. There is your brake over here. Right now it's applied 100%. And I believe there's your water level. I think it's right there, so we're doing pretty okay. You can see all of this way, but also when you stand in front of it, you can press F to enter. There we go. When you press F, you can enter, and you can press V to change your viewing angle. I always like to be a little further away, but everything that I just showed you, the regulator, the reverser, the brake, whistle. We don't have steam yet, so this doesn't work. It's pretty cool. Generator, compressor, these two don't currently do anything, especially in this locomotive. Bell. Can you hear it? I hope you can. Sander, and the bell will not just turn off. It like has to de-swingonize itself. You have a sander and cylinder cocks, and then over here tells you a little more information. There's boiler pressure. 120 is good. 0, you're not going to move. Air brake pressure. This locomotive doesn't have it, but when you have a locomotive that needs it, there you go. Water temperature. 400 is good because that creates enough steam. Water level. 500 is max for this locomotive. There's a water tower right here. I will show you when we have to refill that, when we need to refill it. Fire temperature, a high number. I don't remember what the number is, but you'll see what it is. And fuel is how much wood you currently have in your firebox. Very important. So first things first, let's get some fire. It's a little weird, but it's early access. First, I'm going to open this. Thank you. And as you can see, there's no fire in there, or barely any. So left click, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is as many as you can hold, but you don't see that you're holding anything. There's like a little brick there, but you're actually holding 5 pieces. So you have that, and then right click, chuck it into the fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and now you're empty. I do know that the porter that we're driving here can only hold about 5 blocks of that wood. And if you're not sure if you have enough, just go back, click F until you can get into the cockpit, I like to call it. There we go. And now at the bottom here, 50 is the max number for the porter. That is not true for every single train. Every single train is a little different, so you have to learn them and get to know them. But 50 is good. Now your fire temperature is going up. With your fire temperature going up, the water temperature is going up, and eventually your boiler pressure will also go up. If you look, did I say earlier there are train fanatics that built this game? This little whistle up here will bring up white steam once you have enough steam to actually move. I'm just realizing that my picture is a little bit in the way. I'm sorry about that, because you probably couldn't even see half the things I was telling you earlier, but now it should be better. But yes, this little whistle up here will bring white steam. It's actually this whistle, which we still can't run right now. So that will happen over time. It just takes a little while for the first time before everything starts. Very important. Things just take a little bit, and fire temperature has to get to a certain level, and the water temperature has to get to a certain level, and so on, before we can actually run. Cool. Lots of technicalities, but as I said, on YouTube, phone is normal for fire, if I remember, and camera is on stats. Yeah, it's something there. It's just high numbers, and eventually they all go from the bottom up. So, oh, I didn't mean to have this open. They all go from bottom up. Let me do my thing. They all go bottom up, so when this one goes up, the next one goes up. When this one goes up, the next one goes up. When this one goes up, the boiler pressure goes up. This one has to be above 100 before boiler pressure even moves, so it's just a thing. It's okay. But you have to take care of your fire all the time, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, the last thing I will show you, well, not the last thing. We're going to have at least a 2-hour stream today, so I hope you enjoy it, because this game really deserves it. Here's re-railing. It's a little funky the way it works. Obviously, I'm not derailed right now, but I do need to move this one in front of that wagon over there, because I will show you why. So I have the porter selected. It says it on top left, but it's a little finicky. When I started this, I tried this. I stood here and was just like, I can't make it work, and then every once in a while it will just show up and nothing would happen. And I think right now it's not actually letting me do the thing because you aren't derailed, which is a little unfortunate. Can you just let me? Just gonna let it derail. I may not be able to do this. I may have fixed this, and that, honestly, I'm fine with that. But usually I was able to, I may have to be outside of this section, because this section is special, because whatever you buy goes into this section. Nope, no, I don't think I can do what I want to do. I could derail me on purpose, but that's a little lame. Anyways, I'll leave that alone. We will derail, no questions asked, pretty soon. But the other things that we have, some details here. These guys, actual brakes that actually make a difference. If these brakes are all on, your train's not going to move. Pretty simple. So you have to make sure that you have your train situated. Then these little couplers, behavior is a little weird, but clicking left. Oh, they changed it. At some point it was moving a mouse around, but now it's just clicking left, adds and removes these, and clicking right adds this pin, so there's a connection. Now, this link fits into this linker over here, and once it's connected, I actually have to close or add a pin to it. Let's see how our fire is doing. Look at that. We have water temperature at 110, boiler pressure at 120, which is perfect. As you can see, there's some white stuff coming out of here, which is awesome. It's exactly what we want to see. So now we're ready to actually go. I love driving first person. Put your reverser into 100. There is some argument about that you don't have to run it at 100% all the time. It actually matters in real locomotives, yes, but the developer said not yet. I got a lot of the information from a video from Can from a couple days ago, and if you have questions, maybe check his videos out. He likes to play this game a lot, which I don't blame him for. But if you play in first-person view, this is really easy. That you can actually do this shunting and rangieren and whatever you want to call it in whatever language you are. It makes it pretty easy, and I really appreciate this about this game. I would like to go a little more forward because we will buy at least 2 more cars before we get moving too much. So just a little more. That should be good. the full throttle out there. Now we have, how much money do I have? I have $2,000. Wow. Let's see what we can buy for that on Locomotive side. So we need more flat cars because flat cars are a start to move things around. But then we also need all of the other cars to actually move things around, because right now we can only move log and steel pipe. Steel pipe we're not going to move because we're not there yet. You have to actually, oh, I didn't actually touch this yet. So let me get to that. Close this, open the menu. We are at the freight depot. The first thing that we have to get to is the logging camp over there. And as you can see, there's a mountain. If I go straight into it like this, the logging camp will get us wood that we can do something with. And, well, where do you think you take logs? To the sawmill. Yeah, the sawmill will take it, will actually give you money for it, and then turn it into planks and timber. The timber, on the other hand, is needed in the iron ore mine. And I'm sorry I don't have a way to show you where I'm pointing at right now, but the iron ore mine is behind the arrow in the mountains. It's a really long, hard pass to get up there. And it's a fun path to get there from the sawmill. And then you have iron ore. What do you do with iron ore? You have to take it to the smelter. Like, there are things that make it go across the map, and you are responsible for building that network. And that is the fun in this game. If you hate that, don't play it. Absolutely don't play it. But if you appreciate that network building, real grades, real moving around, actually like doing the work, and you can do this with friends, it's fun and worth it. I really appreciate it. That's why I'm back here. But yeah, today I'm really hoping that we can get from the freight depot to the logging camp, and from the logging camp to the sawmill. We're not going to make it to the smelter or to the iron ore mine. The iron ore mine took me 4 hours last time to even build that track. So there's no chance. But then from the smelter, I think you bring stuff to the coal mine. From the coal mine, you have to bring stuff to the ironworks, maybe? I don't remember, honestly. But the way this is set up, you can't even get it. There's no easy way to get over the ridge, over the mountain. And everything you see on this map is really, really steep mountain that's really hard to get onto, and especially if you only have a 4% grade. So keep all of that in mind. It is very fun. It's a very, very thoughtful game, and I love it. And you're going to get 100 hours of fun out of this, probably, for sure, if you like this kind of stuff and don't have to record videos like I do all the time. Tamura, how's it going? This game looks like a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Really, really, really is. Anyways, let's get some locomotives. Don't like... It is an early access, so every once in a while it just does funny things that I don't fully understand, but there we go. I need a couple more flat cars. Let's do one... Oh, that's lame. You're gonna make me buy it like this. Okay. 1, 2... Just making sure where you parked. You parked in some bad places, but that's okay. That means I can show you how to do some shunting here. 1, 2, maybe one more, and then this may be close to what my little porter can actually move. So that's good. Let's get that cart that's behind us. First, we have to take it in reverse. Get this guy on. Put the little pimp in here. And I don't believe I currently have the brake taken off my wagon in front of me. Take this off, add a little brake, take brake away, add a little brake, take brake away. We're a little far. I'm not trying to make you dizzy here, obviously. But it's just all part of it. And I can tell that the brake is on this guy because it just slowed down without me applying the locomotive brake. And that's a huge, huge deal. So there we go. Let's go a little more this way. Add that guy there. That was wrong. And you actually can't pull the little pip out or the little link out if you are this close, which I also appreciate. No, go forward. Thank you. You have to do it right the first time. I was really good at this at some point, but I have to relearn all of this first. Reverse again. Off brake. All of this matters, and it's great. I love it. You can do this from the first person view that I'm doing right now, or you can do it from the cockpit view that I showed you earlier when you click F. Both are totally fine. I do very much enjoy this one, so that's fine. While we're going forward a little bit, let's take 1, 2, 3, throw that in there. Leave a couple of these guys here, turn that one off, hit the brake, and see where we are. We're going over the switch, and once we're past this switch, we're gonna have to turn that switch around and pick up the other cars that we already bought. So that will be important. Turn off the brake here. Let's try not to derail. We have a little bit of room. I don't think we have enough room, honestly, which I'm more than fine with. Stop. Wow. That may cause some other problems later on, but for right now, this will be fine. So let's switch this switch over. Thank you. And we switch. This switch is already right. I mean, if it's pointed to the left, it's going to the left. If it's pointing to the right, it's going to the right. It's not rocket science on that side, so that is pretty neat. But yeah, let's pick up the other wagons, and then we can start building our track. Which building track is fun, exhausting, and rewarding all at the same time, like most of the other games that I play. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Let's hit this a little, well, let's hit this a little bit less. If you hold shift, it's like a modifier on your mouse action, so it doesn't do the extreme jerks like it did earlier. Yeah, need some juice there, just to make sure I don't run out of babble water. Just a little more. This should be fine. Let's go to the end here, pop in the thing. That looks good. And then we should hit this. If you hit these too fast, they will derail. So don't take any of this stuff for granted. Now I have to turn this one off. Are we going to make it all the way? I think we might. Nice. It's like I've done this before. Now we have a full train that has a wagon in the front, but right now I don't have a good way to get rid of this, but once we derail, I will fix that wagon and put it in the back. I do believe it makes a difference. I just don't think the difference right now is worth worrying about, and I don't hate... Oh, excuse me. I don't hate how this looks. Because look at this. I didn't get the last wagon. Look at that. I didn't do it right. Ah. Alright, go the other way. I think I forgot that I bought 3 cars on this side instead of just 2. That's fine. We'll just fix that. Didn't mean to ruin that one. Just this guy. Brake now. Oh no, I actually did this, but I didn't do that side right. Don't derail. Well, I just didn't do it right. That's my problem. That's simply it. Go back a little further. Thank you. There's a track of rail over there. I don't know if you saw that. That's what you see when you buy vehicles. That's where it takes you, which is, I think, it's pretty neat. Hey. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's try that again. Something was really weird there. One more time. Go back a little more. And then connect this one. And now you should be very happy to come with me, I hope. Unless I did it wrong again. Chances are I did do it wrong, because that's kind of what I do. Go forward. Everyone coming? Looks like everyone is coming. Now, your brake distance totally depends on how much stuff you have loaded, which is another awesome thing that the developers of this game paid attention to. Really, really love it. Their attention to detail is very special. Very, very special. Okay, we're gonna brake. This is a part where having a partner would be really nice, but we don't have a partner, and that's fine. I'm not gonna complain about that. But what we have to do is essentially build out the track to where we need to go. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time I played this game, that was the reason why I was just like, nope, this is stupid. I don't wanna anymore. Because it didn't make any sense to me, because I did it wrong, and I made it really boring, and I made a really terrible track, and all that stuff was just my bad, my fault, mine. So, not gonna do that anymore. If you can see this, we're gonna kind of turn left here to stay on the flat, go for that valley, and then before the sawmill, there's a little mountain that you can maybe see. I will plan on turning left into that mountain and maybe putting a Y in to get to the sawmill later. I'm not sure yet how we're going to do that, because that all depends on how you want to set up your track, and this is the fun of the game. Just make it something cool. So, yeah, that's where we're going to go. Let's start with the track. G to get your tools up, and then I would like probably a constant grade. If you get this little icon, that means you can connect right where the track is stopping. I like that. And then we just have to start going around here. Now I picked the constant grade, and I'm going to make it straight from here on out. Actually, a little more left, maybe there. And then straight, because I want to make sure that we can do something useful. I will have to come back, connect the actual rail, and take out all the trees that shouldn't be there because, well, they will derail you. Pretty simple. But this way, I can make a very, very straight piece of rail. And straight piece of rail means you're not going to derail your train or wagons, because the wagons can start bouncing at some point if your track is too uneven or has too many issues in the track itself. This is as fast as I can run, otherwise I would run faster, so please forgive me if this is getting a little long-winded, but it's all part of the game, and it's fun. Now the thing is, if I had a partner, the partner could be behind me and already laying the track, or take out all the trees that we're putting in here, or that we have in the way, and both is fine. Both is fine. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need people to play with you. Maybe they will even mess up what you were planning on, and maybe playing by yourself is more your thing. Honestly, most of the time it's more a thing for me, but there is enough where you need a second, or where you could use a second player for in this game, that it's totally worth it. So yeah, you see that mountain ridge on the side? That's always going to be there, and if you have to get up there, you have to figure out how you're going to do that. So, as you can see, we're kind of lifting our track bed here a little bit. Is that really what we want to do? That is the question. So let's see, we are just on the right here. I think we're still okay with having this a little higher, and then we get into this valley. I don't want to get too high. We're still okay, but we're getting borderline to the height that I will allow for this track. Where are we on the map? We are getting close to that Y junction, so I'm very much hoping that we are still on a height that will allow us to do exactly what I want to do. And I think we are. Yeah, right here. Right here, we can start putting in the Y, and life should be much better. Beautiful. Right here. I think this is good. Yeah. So now I want to get to the left there to get to the sawmill lumber camp, and I want to keep going straight to get to the other pieces. But for right now, I'm going to press right key, or the right mouse button, to stop building track here. Very important. And I think I'm just going to get the train up here. It's going to take a while, because now I have to get rid of all these trees. It will make my life a lot easier putting in the rail here, because sometimes trees right on the track make your life really, 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 really complicated, because you don't see turns, you don't see the right angle, you don't see everything. Even with the helper, sometimes you just can't click in the location that you want to click in, and all that is a problem. Now, when I played the last time, cutting down trees actually cost money, and you could go negative. But if you were negative, you could never buy the next locomotive or the next thing. So that was definitely a little downer. Now they took that out of the equation. Tree cutting is now completely free. I'm not sure if I agree with that, because it takes the incentive away a little bit for having money. Because making money just by running your route is simple enough. You just have to do it. And I mean, it's part of the game. I get that you don't want to spend all your money on cutting down trees in the beginning, because you know how many trees are you going to cut down? Well, a lot. I can tell you, you're going to cut down a lot of trees. It's the way the game works. It's a thing, and well, it's part of it. I think that's just my opinion. So here we are, just cutting down all these guys. Then I have to lay the track right after this. And then we can get the train all the way up to the Y junction that we just laid the groundworks to. And then I hope, I'm pretty confident we can get to the sawmill today. 2 hours should be enough for that if I don't make too many mistakes along the way. And you can see how you load things there, because that's not quite obvious right at the beginning. There will be some cranes that you have to do stuff with. but outside of that, it may not be entirely clear all the time. Now, the game itself encourages full loops, that you don't have to push your wagons back and forth, and also that you don't have to like run around your train to put the locomotive at the beginning. So loops are nice. However, loops are hard because you have to make a loop wide enough that your train can make an actual turn there, that your wagons can make an actual turn there, that the bigger trains can make a turn there without derailing. And that is not easy, especially in the beginning. So maybe, just for right now, I just recommend don't go too exact on any of your things. You can always try, but make it, when you start playing this, and you have really bad OCD, I don't, but if you do have really bad OCD, try to cut yourself some slack, because you can make this perfect and you can make this playable. If you make it perfect, you're going to spend 1,000 hours in this game at least, which, kudos to you. I've seen some really cool train yards that people build, and this is exciting to me, you can build hump yards in this game, actual hump yards. If you know trains, you probably know what a hump yard is. But yes, this game, the physics will allow you to build an actual hump yard, and I find that super amazing. It's not even funny how awesome I think that is. I haven't built one yet, but it's something I was actually planning on pretty early on, thinking, yeah, that would be great. So now, build your track. When you build your track, you will see that sometimes you find a little, like, flick really close to where I'm standing. That is the game trying to correct the curvature just enough to make it drivable, but you're still responsible for making this as smooth as possible. Now, if you look on the top left, you will see that, let's see, can I, just a little more to the left, please. If you look on the top left, there is a thing that's called curve radius. You can use that, but it's not an easy tool to use. I will say it that way. It looks like I did not hit the straight line just right, so it's just a little more. And that's where, I mean, you don't feel like you have to go exact. Just be good enough. If your trackbed is not perfect right now, fix it later. It's fine. You can make the trackbed also double wide if you want to go that way. There's no shame in that. For right now, I just have it single wide, or like wide enough for one track. Some people made this all double tracked, and parallel double tracked is relatively easy to build actually, but it is a challenge to get perfect if you want to do that. That is, kudos to you. I'd be impressed. 1,000 hours, good. You are on top left. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I just don't like turning my video off entirely. Now it should be better. So top left, if you look now, oh, come on. There is the curve radius and the other help icons that you can use. And yeah, you can use a curve radius and it totally works, but 90% of the time, I would recommend going freehand. The curve radius can make it really nice, but you need a lot of room for that usually. So unless you're in a very specific situation, always use freehand. It makes your life a lot easier and a lot less frustrating. Trust me. I've been there. I've tried it. It's the juice is not worth the squeeze in that case. It's doable though. It's totally doable, which I think is one of the most important things from a game, that it actually lets you do the things that you want to do. And this one does. This one totally does. Let's see, how much more do we have? Are we almost at the end already? Oh, so there's a max length that these guys will let you drag out your track before it says, nope, you have to do something now. And looks like we're here, but okay, it was a little lag. But this is pretty straight track. Is it perfect? Nope, you saw me correct their course a little bit earlier, but I think it's more than good enough. Get rid of a couple of these guys here. Actually, we're going to need to get rid of a lot of here. And because otherwise it's boring, because this is a train show, I'm going to go get the train now. So we can drive that guy around. Nope, continue. Thank you. Maybe I should save the game at some point. But yeah, let's take some juice. Webcam is blocking top left. Yes, yes, yes. I fixed it. We got 13 viewers now. I'm actually impressed. I put out that post or that poll asking people if they would join if I play Railroads Online because there's that physics update. And a lot more people said that they would than I expected. I was actually impressed by that. So thanks for everyone for joining. Really appreciate it. I mean, the channel is growing nicely, but this is not one of the main games off the channel. I understand that. So anyone that comes by here and just wants to hang out, really appreciate it. Always nice. Again, for anyone that joined late, if you have Railroads Online or if you're planning on buying it right now, I am planning to at least play for another until 9:30. It is 8:10 right now. I plan at least to play until 9:30. So if you want to play with me, this is a multiplayer game. I have posted the server name and the server password on my Discord channel under announcements. So just go check it out, join the channel. Sorry, not join the channel. Just join the game and we can build this stuff together if you want. Obviously behave yourself because I will reserve the right to kick you if you don't behave yourself. It's very simple. But yeah, no, this is a great multiplayer game. I would like to do it more often, but I don't have a dedicated server that I could run this on. So it's not like I can give people just the access that they need to make this thing run. Same with Farm Sim. Same with Minecraft. I have the games, but I don't have dedicated servers. I don't currently have the resources to make a dedicated server, and I don't really want to pay for one either. So there's all that. Just being cheap. But at some point I may do that. Maybe I can even find someone that does it for me. I know my normal moderator, who's awesome, the Sarab. Also, he has a Twitch channel. If you want to watch some more, work on some resources, he seems like he's back streaming, not as often as he probably would like, but he's definitely back. So let's get some logs. Open you up. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's a better color. Put the rest of the logs in here. That looks good. And reverse ours forward, break off, and go. As you can see, the water tank was still full. So let's actually use this view. I think it gives you a little more of the landscape than the shorter view. But there we go. It's really loud, huh? Please hold. App, escape, options, audio, master volume, SFX. I hope that's better. I saw that when Rever was playing this, that his train was so loud for so long, and it was just really hard to understand. I'm sorry about that. Barton, the forest looks better with rail in it. Indeed it does. Always, always, always the case. Yep, all the rail cars are coming with us. That's important. Very important, actually. And we're going the right way. I do have to remember that this track is not completely done, so I have to stop at a decent place. Let's get back to this view so we can see something. But yeah, it's pretty. Fuel looks good. Water level looks good. This feels like it was refilled again. Kind of strange, but that's okay. I feel like we started at 400, but it meant to be started at 500 because that's the max level. I don't know, maybe not. Water temperature is good. Fire temperature, yeah, no, this is all good. Regulator is doing what it's supposed to do. Now, you can change all of that stuff here, and we are getting close-ish. There's a tree that I have to trim. Not right now. Can't believe I ran past that twice and decided it's fine. But here's this guy. Let's jump on the brake, jump out of this view, and start putting in our first little junction. Wow, I stopped just in time. I'm actually impressed by that. Okay, cool, good place. Yeah, right here's great. First junction, get your rail, and then you have a switch right and a switch left, and there is essentially a short. Is it? No, these are not short. It's just, here's a switch right with a lever on the right, switch right with a lever on the left, switch left with a lever on the left, switch left with a lever on the right. These are all the same angles, so just pick whatever you want. In this case, I want to go left, like this, with the lever on this side. I found that adding a stone wall to this view, just on this height, to highlight that that lever a little bit, looks really nice. It makes just a little neater, and that's fine. And here we are. So I want to go to the left. Barton about switch is an interesting idea of connecting them with metal ropes to one building to have signal, man, place, or how it's called. Probably not this. It's just, it's too big, probably. I don't know how the mods are for this game yet. I haven't checked that in a while. I never checked that because when I started playing this, it was too new and nobody had any mods for it. So I don't know. Maybe they have something now. Anyways, this, let's start here. I want to make that look at least acceptable. Nope, too high. I've seen some people go back through and actually backfill all of these sleepers with this height of groundwork. You can, and it probably looks nice, but that is a ton of work that I am not willing to go through. Sorry. I would like to get in between you. Nope, won't let me. Maybe that's another change that they did. But we can just start from here, I suppose. Go out a little bit on this side, and then, yeah, off we go. Now this one, I have to turn around slowly. I'm not going as slowly as I probably should, and I'm already at a pretty good angle, but I can't, nope, I don't. I'll stay at 0. Gradient, 0%, perfect. It looks like I'm already at a good gradient, or at a good direction, heading that way. Actually, yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm gonna make this, I'm straightening it out just a little bit. And if there's a small gradient that we have to adjust here, I can. For now, I actually feel good about this, but now we're getting to a little bump. We can replace this with the stone wall later on. I have to, but this is where it starts. This is where it starts. What are your preferences? How do you want to make this look? And yeah, I'm gonna I don't know. I need to go still straight more, but I have to go downhill now, I think. Get me this guy so I can see a little more of what we need to do. Because the first track that I laid, that is the easiest piece of the game. It's actually designed to not discourage you from what you want to do. So it's pretty neat, but it's not a good example of how complicated this game can get. Now we're just in a little meadow over here. We're not even in a complicated state. Give me you, give me you. So yeah, I think we are not. We're not flat ground, but we're definitely not super high. So I think what we're going to do here is some constant stone wall. Actually, I would like you to start a little higher than that. How do I do that? Variable stone wall, go like this. That high should be fine. Then go to 0, then we have a starting point, and now I switch it to constant stone wall. Put it somewhere in the middle here. And all I want from this is to connect to that piece of groundwork that I already have in a decent manner without too much kink. As you can see, we're pretty close. This is too high. And this is perfect. Love it. So now we don't have a huge embankment, we just have a little bit of a wall here. And that makes fun. I'm watching this on YouTube. One place to control switches on shunt yards would be so neat. Oh, a switchboard is what you're talking about. Yes, that would be very neat indeed. I 100% agree. Now I get what you're saying. No, good idea. I wouldn't be surprised if the developers are actually planning on doing that. And I took too much of this away. My bad. Can I get up here? Let me up here. Oh, gotta go to the end. I got a little overzealous there. I wanted to take the pieces away that I knew I didn't want. but then I took more away than I wanted to take away. It's part of the game. Now I go back here. This actually looks really nice. I'm surprised. This is not what I usually do. Usually it's more questionable what I'm doing, but that's fine. Groundwork, constant stone wall. Get in here. Let's see. How close am I there? I'm actually pretty close. I don't hate this. Yep, I'm okay with that. That's fine. And then now we can just continue with our normal groundworks again. Constant grade. Hopefully we can stay on 0 for a while. Nope, we can't. Have to go up a little bit again. 1 degree. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 1 degree for a train is quite a bunch. Maybe this is fine. Maybe this is fine. Yeah, I think that is just fine. 3/4 of a degree. In that case, should work. And I will have to switch to variable grade, otherwise can't get this to line up right. So there we go. Make you straight, and then just a straight line. Where are we? We are going just around. There's a mountain. There's a little mount, I should say, on the left that I'm trying to avoid. Because it may just be a valley. I don't know which one it is, but I'm trying to avoid it. So, how are we doing? We are almost there. And as you can see, the map itself just gives you some text. It doesn't actually tell you where the thing is that you're looking for. So you will have to look over and find the building that you're trying to get to at some point. Otherwise, you're just going to miss it. They're generally pretty large productions, but that doesn't mean they're easy to see. Okay. I would like, nope, stay at 0. I would like to start having you turn left a little bit. Not too drastically, that's important. Train after all, so let's get that over here. How are we? We are better. If we go this direction, we should be pretty good. I see some building. I thought I saw a building. I don't see a building yet, so not imagine that. Logging camp is pretty close. So we are, here's that little mountain that was there, and I'm trying to get around that. There's the building. No, there's not the building. There's something else that's not as important, and that is fine. Do I need to go more to the left? Yes, I do. Get left alt disabled again. Where are we? We are here. Get me a little turn. That looks good. We are exactly where I want to be. I just don't see the building that I want to get to at this point. Is it on this mountain? It shouldn't be. It should be right in the middle of this riding. So does it come right after this hill? It's very possible. Mr. Smith, cutting down the trees is an obvious solution to the visual problem in the landscape, but the game is also giving you actual tools to measure the gradient over distance. I heard that it does. I have not seen that it does. So, I don't know. I don't know. So here's the logging camp that I'm trying to get to. I mean, should be pretty obvious. You want to get near these guys because you have to get close enough for the cranes to actually be able to unload where you are. That's important. Now I'm here. Obviously, my stuff is somewhere on this side, so there's a little mountain I have to go up. I think this will be fine. What are the odds that I'm finding the thing that I had just left behind again? I should be able to. Because I think there's this mountain over here just to the right, and my path should be to the left, and I want to get through this valley as well. Should be doable. So far, I'm actually really impressed by how pretty I'm able to make it. It doesn't look like much yet, but I am impressed by myself. I'm not used to that. So somewhere over here, I should just run across. There it is. I should just be able to run close to it and then do a thing and get it all done. It's a %, not a degree. But grades are measured in degrees, right? Variable grade, constant grade. I think. Yeah. So I want to go up. 1.5 is not even enough. So that means I have to take this back a little bit, demolish some groundwork. That looks, this might be fine. This might be good enough. Demolish some of that. Constant grade again. Start in the middle. Move forward. Like this. And then now we're at 2 degrees. That is much more than I expected to have here. 2.5. Still not there. This is pretty high. This is pretty high, and I don't actually want to go that high. Now, the saving grace is the physics are good enough. I should just do it from here. The physics are good enough to actually give you a little bit of a swing. Like if you just come up a hill with enough speed on your train, you can still make it up the hill even if the grade is really high. But you also need that. Like, you won't be able to start anymore. You may be able to maintain your speed only at that point, and that's something you have to account for. Okay, 1 degree, is that good? 1.25, I think this is fine. And then I want to snake up this little ridge on the right. Okay, as you can see, I'm now just slightly increasing my grade, hoping that I can make it to where I want to get to. And I feel 2.5%, it's not the end of the world, but I would like to be a little bit low. I don't want to go above 3%, no. So that means we have to just keep going straight here. And this is where you get into tricky situations, where you just have to make some decisions to advance your train career. Because now you get into this. 3.25 is maybe the highest I want to go, but I'm also in the wrong place. I want to go here. So, okay, I just have to, I don't think I actually have to back you up. I just have to find a constant grade that connects to the piece that I want from there. Then why it has the percentage symbol. Fair enough, fair enough. Can't argue with that, honestly. EE, just giving this a height that I'm okay with. I think right here is good. Then make you, pick the wrong one. Variable grade. Try that again. Oh, you broke it all. You broke all of it. Do it again. Okay. Groundwork, variable grade, U, 1, 2. Make it go high enough. I'm going to say that is high enough. I'm going to connect all of this so I can just run the train by here once I get there. It's just a little bit higher than the rest. And then I'll try to make something pretty, which means go over here and use the same height as it used on the other side. So maybe we can use, or we can keep everything on a similar height, which would be great. I have to keep this close enough because if you put it too far away, material will just vanish. That's not good either. Okay. This one is pretty close because now I just have to get that over to the existing track or to the existing groundwork, and then I have to do the other side, connect that, cut down some trees. It's always a thing. Luckily, it's generally just clicking a button, but it's always hard to tell if you actually click that tree already. And then my hope is to just have the track run around or wrap around the end of this as a turnaround track. That'd be really neat. But there we go. There is the track that I want to connect to. There's still a tree right in front of it. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. So good job on me. And here is the tricky part. One thing that I learned. You always want to connect from the top to the bottom. If you do it the other way around, it's a lot harder to have a good merging point. So, 2, almost 2.5, 2 3/4 degrees. It's not the end of the world, I will say. I think this is actually pretty good. So what I can get here, get the logging. Okay. This one is not a perfect connection, but that's a different type of problem. We're already at 2 degrees, so I don't want to add a lot to this. Maybe I can add... There we go. The last bit can be a little taller. I think that is appropriate. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Here we go. Okay, that looks good. Get rid of this extra thingy because we don't actually need it anymore. Just going to be ugly, and this is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Let's do the same thing from this side, and then we know where we have to put the switch in. Very important. I think this is the height that we want to be at. Variable grade in this case, I think it's our only real choice. Forward a little bit, and then from here, I actually would like constant grade. Because I think we can get pretty close without going too crazy. 2 degrees, 3 degrees. You know what? This is pretty acceptable. It's just in between there. Can't do a switch on that, but I think this is good. If I'm lucky, and I think I am, I can build the rest of this loop right here. The funny thing is, the last time I played this, I came exactly from the other side into this logging camp, instead of coming from here. So, yeah, things change a lot. And I feel like I know what I'm doing now. Obviously, I'm not perfect. But I do feel like I have an idea of what I'm trying to do here. Constant grade. Now the loop. Give me a straight piece. Get me turn that goes to the right. Then correct yourself and go straight for a little while, and then start turning left. Now these are the hard turns, because you don't want it too tight that your train will derail. You don't want it too wide that there's no way that you get back to the track that you actually want to get to. And in this case, I want to connect to the side where the other loading platform was. I think I may be okay. I'm still running constant grade, so we should be at the perfect height for this guy. And we could put a second track just to the side of this, but I don't know if that's 100% necessary. But actually that worked pretty well. I don't know how tight that turn will be, but the train will tell us in the worst case. Simeon, there's some level of Transport Fever 1 track building. This is some level of Transport Fever 1 track building. I felt Transport Fever 1 was always very accommodating for any type of track building that you had to do, don't you think? Do rails go and groundwork cost money? No, sadly they don't. And I get why they don't, because there is just so much happening that you have to build. The only thing that currently costs money in the game is the vehicles. Nothing else costs money. I wish there was more that costs money, but then if you look at how much money you can make... Oh, this was a bump. How much money you can make per trip, it makes sense, because one log that I'm going to pick up, which I think one card fits 6 of them, makes $6 or 6 units of money. That's not a lot. So it will take really long to make money, so I'm okay with using money sparsely, because in the end, that's not quite what this game is trying to do well. Does a lot of things well, doesn't care about money very much, which I'm okay with. I'm totally fine with. Rail. Let's build this so that it doesn't block anything or cause a crash or a derailment. And there we go. A lot of places don't have the loading platforms aligned in a straight line, which adds another what do we call it? Level of complication? Sure. I don't know if you can see that, but the rail is actually following the gradient on the groundwork, which is important, because if you didn't have that, your gradient would be all over the place, which is the reason why we're building it the way we are. Okay, get rid of this tree. Then I would like to get a little more groundwork in here to put the switch in. I actually think the switch is gonna fight me on this, but like the switches don't like to be on uneven ground. But maybe they adjusted that, and I completely forgot about that until just now, so we'll see how this goes. But that's why I want the switch. Give me the rails. Switch on the right is fine, and yeah. No, it will play along. It will play along. It's just more problem of the angle that I have here, because the angle is already too extreme. Oh, but I have a really straight piece of rail right here, which I can use for all the needs that I have here. That should be fine. Switch right. Time for a drink, because trees are in the way. Okay, that's better. Yeah, this is actually fine. This should work. Now give me a little more groundwork, constant grade. Probably from here. Go down enough. All I want from this groundwork is to not be in the way. I don't need anything fancy from you. G, rail, track. Give me a piece that I can deal with. And at this point, I don't know if this is too sharp already. It may be fine. It may be too sharp. This one is definitely not going to work. I can tell you that. So let's remove a couple pieces of this, because we have extra wiggle room here, which is nice. Could take you back just a little more. Yeah, there should be fine. At the beginning, the demolish tool was removing everything at once, so all the time you would just hit the wrong thing, and you would just get pissed. So I'm glad they fixed that the way they did, because now when I click here, I'm not taking groundwork away that took me forever to place there. Because every once in a while you build groundwork really, really long, like a really long piece of it, and then you just forget to click. And then you want to delete something, and then it's gone forever because the rail was a problem, not the groundwork. The groundwork was fine at that point. The rail was a problem, and that is extremely frustrating. So glad they fixed that. Get you as aligned as I can. Is this perfect? Nope. That's not how I play games. But it is probably drivable. I'm pretty confident that we can make the train run on this, because this is not too kinky, and everything else looks fine, I think. Rail, 3 foot. Give me a piece straight first, and then go up this little hill. There we go. I'm using the right Alt key to make this straight enough, and now we're getting into a slight right turn. I'm not going to continue this because I'm going to do this wrong. I need to connect this appropriately. I would say right there looks good. Again, I'm not going to make this perfect, just good enough. But that was not good enough. that was nowhere near. That wasn't even b-ball joe good enough. Try this again. Too far away. Try it again. Yep, that's good. That I'm happy with. Okay. Straight line. I'm gonna make this turn right now, and then I'm just gonna connect it back to the junction that we just built. That's fine. So now, here's where I find if you don't build your groundwork tall enough, you will run into an issue of not being able to see it like I am right now. It's hard to see. I think I know where it is, but also only because I moved the trees around already. So, or I cut the trees off already. But I am running out of space on my groundwork, so I may have to redo that. But if this turn is good enough, which it may as well be, it's really hard to tell. We'll just see how it looks in the end. There we are. Give me a little bit of a straight piece, and then we have to turn left into the station. Okay, let's check it out. This looks pretty good. This is a little bit of a sharp turn, but I think it's doable for all the trains. I like it. I like it. I like it. Actually, this looks a lot better than I expected. This is a pretty sharp turn, but it may be just fine. And if it's not fine, we just have to redo it. And there's no way to find out until you run a train over it. So, yeah. Keep that in mind. This side, I'm pretty confident will be fine. There's a little kink there. I think we can survive that. Track back in the day, where this this game is set in a time period, was not straight. It was just good enough. So that's what we're going to do. Did you saw how some used not taken care of rails looked? Yes. Yes, yes, indeed. Let's take this one back. Just a little bit. It should help. Just until there, probably. And see if we can connect this in a more appropriate manner. And then we still have to go all the way back and pick up the train. That is a thing. There, right there. Right there. I think we are pretty much aligned now. And this is where it's important that if you have OCD, be aware of it. Because you can sit here all day making this perfect, or you can get it good enough. Great. Now that we have this piece done, I think I'm going to do a mix of taking down trees. Oh, not yet, not yet. Give me some constant stone wall. Yes. Right here. Pull out this way, and life is good. Beautiful. All right, trees. Too close, too close. You can always go back and replace the groundwork later on, which is actually easier, because you can take groundwork away from underneath rail, and a rail will not collapse. That's how you, excuse me, that's how you sometimes have to create your bridges if you want to cross something, because nothing can really go under bridges, which is not great. But I'm sure they're going to address that at some point. So keep that in mind. If you don't like something, but the track is good, you don't have to remove the track. You just redo the groundwork underneath it, which is really easy because you get snap points from the rail track, which is great. I know I said I was going to do the other way, but I think I'm just going to go to the end of this and then lay the track and then run back to the train. Live stream just means that you will have to see me running from A to B instead of getting a quick jump cut. That's what they call it in the business. Daggerwin always says, "No, it's a jump cut." I'm just like, yeah, but is it really called that? I don't know why that word bugs me. There's nothing wrong with the word, and I believe it's used correctly whenever he says it or when anyone else says it, but the word bugs me. It's weird. Jump cut. Yeah, I mean, yes it is, but stop using it. No. Okay, I know we have someone here from Germany, Nacht. I don't know if you're still here, but where else do we have viewers from tonight, if you're willing to share? Obviously, I'm in the US, but from Germany. But I'm definitely in a US time zone. Not sure where everyone else is from. No, we have 14 viewers now, which is more than I expected for this stream, especially around this time, so that's pretty exciting for me, honestly. Come on, let me click. Yep. That button, click this button. Does anyone on the stream already own the game? Or are you just thinking about maybe getting it at some point? I know it wasn't cheap, it was like 30 bucks, but I think it's worth it. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm not gaining anything if you buy this game, so do whatever you want. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised by the game. I did actually try to get it for free because that's what I do now. When you have a YouTube channel, you just try to get stuff, especially games, for free all the time. But they weren't having it. Florida, how's it going? Netherlands, that is early. Jumping with scissors is dangerous, so put bad. Yes. Poland. Yes, I think I remember you. You're from Poland. But yeah, good to see everyone. A lot more Europe than I expected. Does that mean you have a late shift? Does that mean you have an early job and you're just having breakfast? Does that mean you're just up at night anyways because sleeping is bad? You obviously don't have to answer. Stream is pretty opportune. It's 5 a.m. here. Wanted to know what game's actually about. Excellent. well, glad you came by and checked out me instead of any of the other guys, because the other guys don't know. No. There were a lot that made me want to play more. There are a couple people that are really, really serious about the game, which is great. And then there are a couple people that are just fun. Some are really knowledgeable. The developers, honestly, are very unannoying. Like, the Discord server does not have a lot of pings all the time, which I really appreciate. There's another game out there about trains that does not do that. And I just turned them off. Really wanted to like that game, but I think they lost me. They even wanted me to come on board because I did some coverage on that game. Wanted to see if I want to jump on their Twitch chat or Twitch stream, and I said, did you see any of the reviews that I gave you guys or anything that I said in your Discord channel? Yeah, I really want to like that game. It's about trains and it's great, but I can't. They destroyed it. They had a bad launch, and that changed the game a lot, sadly. Maybe I get back to it. Maybe they can fix it. They think they can. I don't know if they will. They have other problems. It's not the developer's problem, let's put it that way. But they have problems, and I don't know if they can fix it. Kind of out of their hand. I don't know why I talk about that, because this game, this crew, everything that I know about this game so far is just nice and great, and they're doing a really good job. So, yeah. Sleeping bad, yes. Sorry to hear. Tell the devs to make 2-pack, 4-pack promotions good for multiplayer. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, I get it. It is a multiplayer type game. So that would definitely make sense. Do a straight piece. This is where it gets, don't be OCD, because the gap on the right is not the same as the gap on the left, and you're gonna drive yourself mad if you worry about that. Unlike me. Just like, yeah, I'll get us there. Does the train derail? Nope, then it's good enough. If the train derails, I was wrong. Who left that tree up there? Which, in this case, I'm hoping that on the way back I will find all the trees that I haven't cut down yet. But we'll see. Oh, one of the other updates they had in this update, or maybe recently, is changing the water consumption. Because for a while, you could not get very far with one tank of water, and you had to refill water so much. It was a chore. Water was free, but it was still annoying to have to do it so much. So I was glad when I saw that they addressed that a little bit. Okay, this was a nice straight piece. That's neat. Now we have to start turning left here. I may fill in a couple of these groundworks, but I want to make sure that I can keep this turn as light as possible. The porter that I'm driving right now, Betsy, she should have no problem with tight turns because of her wheelbase. Yeah, let's go with that. But the bigger locomotives and even the cargo wagons, they don't have that luxury because they have the same wheelbase maybe, but they're across a longer distance. Like sometimes they have the dollies. No, most of them have the dollies. That's not what they're called. Is it what they're called? I don't know what it's called. I don't know what I'm talking about. But sharp turns are bad for trains. Don't have sharp turns. Hope that turn is not too sharp. Really do. Yeah, I definitely have to do something about the groundwork here, but that is okay. The train won't derail if you're hanging off the groundwork, so I'm not terribly worried about that right now. I should be able to fix that a little bit at least later on. Nope. I want you to go here, and we're almost there. I am very happy to see that. Let's see. Topics. What can I talk about? We're just about to head back, so if anyone has a topic that you want me to talk about that is not politics, hit me and I will do my best impression of it. Let me... it won't let me click. This may just be the length that will let me do it. Every once in a while it just says, you did this for too long, you have to stop now. I'm like, oh. Okay, you. Straight piece. Good enough. Then little turn. Oh boy, this is almost perfect. This is almost too good. I love it. I would like to go up there first. And yeah, now we do this. Anyone, I destroyed my sleep schedule. Excellent. Derailment is just a question of speed, so problem starts with speed bigger than 0. Technically, yes, in this game you can derail at really, really low speeds. It doesn't take a lot because the wagons will wiggle a little bit, and that's what's going to derail it. I would assume at this point, higher or filled trains with cargo will exacerbate that problem, which I'm not saying is a problem in itself, it's just a fact. So, yes, you're right, speed has a lot to do with derailing, but it's not the only thing in this game that will matter, so keep that in mind. Any trees up there? Nope, that looks good. Where's the tree that was up here that I had to get rid of? There was one. I know there was one. Oh. I like our track, though. I like where we are, and we're almost on our way here. Hanako! I haven't seen you in a while on stream. No, that's not true. But you haven't scolded me for doing something wrong in a while. That feels a little wrong. Or I'm getting better at it, or you're careless. I don't know which one. Anyways, appreciate seeing you. I did want to talk about this. So this morning I woke up to someone that responded to the poll where I announced that I was going to do a stream for this one. And they just reacted with quoting verbatim, why does this crap fill up my, or spam my feed? That was all they said. Nothing else, nothing critical, or nothing like they just said, why is this crap spam my stream? And then I also said, I'm also going to do multiplayer. If anyone wants to join, let me know. And well, he had a similar comment on that. To which, well, I don't really care if people criticize me. I actually appreciate it. Seeing Hanako, that's the first thing that pops to mind. I appreciate criticism, especially if you're right and I'm wrong, because I present stuff to the viewers in a way that, I guess tutorials are my main thing, and then the Let's Plays are something else, but I would like to be able to take them seriously, so my credibility is very important to me. And if I'm wrong at something, I'm wrong at something. Look at the distribution office tutorial, the first one I did. It was completely wrong, and people pointed that out, and I appreciate that they did, because without that, I have known, and I learned so much from people pointing that out that it's simply, I very much appreciate it. So I like when people point out that I'm wrong. But I don't care about just bigots that go somewhere and say something negative for the only sole reason to say something negative. Simply because it's annoying, it is stupid, and it's not productive in any way, shape, or form. And you can't even engage with people like that, because what's the point at that point? So, yeah, just thought I'd point that out. It's just a thing we're going to do. Cool. As you can see, I just put a switch here. The switch is in the wrong direction, but I needed the distance that I wanted to connect with, because we need to have a big, it's not a Y, but a triangle junction here to be able to get to all the places that we want to get to. I'm going to do that right now. Left switch left, that looks good. This one, just demolish this piece. It'll make it a little easier to connect it this way. Get me from here to here, because this piece should still be perfectly straight, so not cause any issues. And you are connected to the wrong side. Excuse me. Also, something I learned from Rever, clear out your junctions with trees so you can actually see what the switches are set to. I'm not going to do that all right now, but we're going to have to get back here later on anyways, but it's a great tip that he made, and I think people should just follow that. Here we go with our little wall that we can see it. I like it. And I think we're good. We can get some wood now. Yeah, I filled that 2 minutes of running pretty well, don't you think? Maybe. I think I did. I think I did a great job. But you are allowed to disagree, because that's the kind of channel this is. Oh, the Colonel. Yes, I don't know if you knew this, but the Colonel influenced my channel a lot at the beginning. The Colonel, not too long ago, was having an outro, a sponsored outro for a kid, 9-year-old. And he effectively just told the kid, don't be a jerk playing video games. How are you a jerk? by doing things that make the game less fun for other people. And he is so right. Why is it? And he was so right. I mean, he didn't say much, but what he said was just like, yep, I can associate with that. That's kind of how I want to run this channel. What is... There we go. It was just... I had a button that has more lean to it, and that was the problem. Okay, go forward, turn on this view so we can actually see something, give me a little more regulator. Actually, I don't want to have a lot of regulator because we may still derail somewhere. These switches are not perfect by any means. As you can see, I'm bumping a little bit there. This turn is a little sharper than I want it to be, but I hope we will be fine. Actually, that's better than I expected. I like it. And now we can just keep going forward. I think for right now, we will be fine here. But yeah, no. Be nice playing video games. If you're playing by yourself, do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, but don't make the game less fun for other people. Period. I think that's a very wise thing to say for anyone, especially people that are on the internet influencing other people with their game choices or other things. So keep that in mind, please. Some people are just stupid and think nobody asked is cool. Yeah, indeed, and that's just the thing. If I put myself out there on YouTube, YouTube is a public platform, there will be those people every once in a while, and it's just a thing. And I guess I'll allow it, I guess. And that's neat. It's just a thing. And I talked about that too on my Discord. I think it's a more private setting. I won't allow that on YouTube. I sometimes wonder, is it too much censorship? Do I censor the opinions of people too much if I don't allow just negative energy? Not criticism, just negative energy. Or is it fine? I think the consensus was that it's totally fine if I do that, because it is my realm at some point, so I can do whatever I want with it, as long as it's within the law and as long as it's within reason, which I'm very much thinking that it is. So, yeah. No, thought I talked about that. Wanted to talk about that. I don't know why. It's probably not that important, but it's neat. This is going way too well. I'm very glad I started a new game, because if I would have done the old one, there were so many trees on the track already, as I talked about already, that it would have been a nightmare to make it all work. But this is good. I like this. I appreciate this. Ooh, this is great. We're missing boiler pressure, and we're going up a hill, about 3% here. We need a lot more pressure, and it's going up now because we just hit the water temperature that we needed. But this hill is near the max that Betsy can handle for 4 empty wagons. 4 empty wagons. That's very important. The bigger ones, like when the wagons are actually full, I can't handle it anymore. And I don't have the spreadsheets for this. This was not a problem before. You could run Betsy with 12, 15 wagons, no problem, and life was good. So this is one of the reasons why this update got me excited. Because Betsy was the overpowered machine that everyone could do everything with, but in reality it's just a shunter that should sit in every rail yard, but you can't really use for moving as much cargo as everyone did. So this is great. I love seeing this. It's pumped the regulator up to 100. Maybe get a little more out of you, but no, this is great. I love it. I love seeing this. This is what the physics update is about. So that's great. I turn into politics nevertheless. But the only politics that matters is the B-ball politics, no real politics. No, but you're right, you're right. That did go that way. I don't know why. I'll blame Hanako. Thanks, Hanako. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this works. And then I will put the wagon on the back here pretty soon. I have you there. Can you park somewhere in the middle? A little too far. Reverser, go the other way, just for a little bit. I just want to be about in the middle, because these cranes, I'm happy with that. These cranes have a hitbox, and I don't know what the hitbox is. I thought there were arrows that are supposed to show you, but essentially what you do is you go over here, you tell them to do something, then they drop off a log, and then they go back. Cool. So that works just fine. That's all I wanted. And then I can load the other two up pretty easy, and then I will go around and get the get one of the wagons later on. What we got here? By the way, I saw a guy from Scotland making his own small railway some time ago. He started experimenting with steam boiler. Was that the guy on Reddit that had a tiny steam locomotive that he was beating with a tiny shovel? That was pretty cool. Shunter, more like a starter loco. Yeah, but it's... yeah, it is. It is indeed. But, yeah, that was good stuff. I like it, and yeah, you do this. Oh yeah, there was a hitbox arrow. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but you got to start somewhere. So we're loading these up. They will make, I believe, 36 bucks per wagon. Once we get to the Sawmill, which we don't have track yet. I don't know if you remember that, but we didn't lay track to the Sawmill. I just put a switch in that should get us there, but at this point we're not near. It's not near the Sawmill, so keep that in mind. They are doing their thing. That is neat. We want to go forward, break off, go, and we should move a little slower than we did before, because we are fully loaded now. Just make sure that we get the hitboxes just about right there. Maybe? I don't know if that's good. Try it. Every once in a while they just double load. Oh, can you stop? Oh, that's the other thing. Because we're loaded now, the brake distance is also elongated. But looks like we're good, so that's nice. Have you go. Oh, and then here's a detail. The freight will actually tell you how much this piece of freight weighs. So for 4,400 pounds per log, plus what the wagon itself weighs, is the total distance that the locomotive is pulling, in addition to obviously the train weight itself. So you could do all the math to figure out if you can get up the grades that you built. The game itself will let you build grades up to 7% or so, I think, but doesn't mean that your trains can actually handle that. No, he made it to something better than a wheelbarrow. Oh gosh, there was another one. It looked, I want to say Polish, but it looked very rustic and functional, and I loved it. It was this little minecart setup that was running by itself, just like rolling down a hill by gravity. It was full of something. I don't know what was in it, but after it was full, it would run over the edge. Then the edge would have a little catcher, and the catcher will tip it out. And it will tip it back, and by the time it tipped it back, it would also fling it back down the hill that it just came. And it would run up a different direction, so a slightly different track. And it would go, oh, we're full here. It would go to, what I want to do here. Trying to think if I can turn this thing around. I don't think I can. But no, it was trying to dump it. No, I'm going to save this until I figure out. So I want to get to the front of this. If I just back up, that's not going to happen. If I back up, park these, then come back around to the front, I will be on the wrong side of this, so that's not going to happen. Maybe I'll just drive like this. It'll be fine. You break off forwards. That looks good. How we're doing on fuel? 33. We can add a couple more. Yep. It's good. Be nice if we can actually make it around this turn. Regulator full, maybe. So no, the little minecart was going up there, was dumping it out, got flung around, would go a slightly different track for a junction, and that junction had a tiny lift in it. The lift was essentially just a thing that it got on it, and then it would lift it up, and then it was higher than the base behind it, and it would effectively just roll down again, and it would roll down to the end of the track, which was at a building, which was another switch that would just go around. So everything was kind of shaped like a diamond with 2 points on each side. And, break. With 2 points on each side, break. I don't want to derail. I kind of want to derail, but I don't really want to derail. With 2 points on each side, and then it would run back into where it gets loaded in the first time. Yeah, no, we're going to derail. No chance. Boop. 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 That's fine. I do need to break you. Thank you. I told you I was going to show you how the derailing, or how the re-railing works, because I expected this. Okay. G, re-rail, you. You don't like to be re-railed on... Yeah, that works. No, but it was awesome. I loved just the simple mechanic of how it was working, but it was working perfectly, and that got me excited. You do that. I don't know, I probably don't have a pin in here, and that should be good. Yeah, that looks good. And no, it was just great engineering, great ingenuity, and it was just a thing that worked by itself without much technology. I don't know how the lift worked. I'm assuming some mechanical lift. Otherwise, it wouldn't make much sense. But no, it was pretty cool. I liked it. I'll send you him in Discord PM. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good. That needs this, and now we need Betsy to come out. Re-rail. Connect you. Thank you. Betsy. Betsy. Oh. Click the wrong button. Order. Yes. I would like you to be here. Ideally in the correct orientation. That is the wrong orientation. Now. Left mouse button, rotate clockwise. Like that. Yeah, no. Left mouse button. Let's go over here. Cool. That worked. I'm actually happy that did. Now, I want you to have this thing with that thing. Then undo the brake. This is why a hump yard is possible in this game, because these cars move themselves. If you compare it to a Train Sim World 2 or 1, the cars themselves don't just move. You actually need a locomotive, otherwise they're kind of just stuck there, and that's too bad. But yeah, Betsy can't even hold this by itself, so that's pretty cool. We have 100% brake, and it couldn't hold this. Actually, that means we should probably apply some brake anyways to get around this turn, and then release the brake and just go. Lovely. Love it. Love it. Everything is working, and I think 4 cars is about the max that Betsy can handle here, so yeehaw. Honestly, I don't see that this game so far, what I've built here, could have gone any more smoothly, because we only derailed once, well, twice technically. But overall, everything kind of just falls into place. This track is actually really pretty for what I usually build. Yeah, my water level is still higher. Like, it was at 453 earlier. It's going up. This is a beta branch, so keep that in mind. But yeah, my water level is going up, not down. That's interesting. Interesting feature. But I like it. Just means we never have to refill the boiler. That's fine. But yeah, no, just simple train setups like that, simple private train setups for anyone that runs stuff. That sounds fun to me. I would really like to have a yard train setup, but I just don't have a setup or patience or the means to do that at this point. And I don't have a nice yard for that. I think a yard where you have a lot of landscaping and other things, and then have a train run around that's cool. But what I have is more just greenery, a couple trees, and that's it. Please stop. You're overshooting what I wanted you to go to. Oh, this is lovely. Physics update, you're great. Look at that, I'm slipping. Sand. I don't think Betsy has sand, so that's not going to make a difference. But this is great. Like, the weight itself makes everything harder, which is awesome. Before, I could have easily stopped it. Like, where it was breaking over here, that would have been more than enough to stop, but not anymore, which is why I'm playing this game again. We're not even going uphill here, so all of that matters, which means you can't even get up into the mountains with Betsy. Because if you do that, The hopper cars that you have to use when that happens are simply out of your league. That's great. Let's do something real quick. Save before I forget. Save game right here. Sure. Thank you. Continue. And there's Betsy. She's happy. We now have the task of getting everything connected to the next piece, which is either going to be really complicated or really, really easy. Let's get in there first. Connect this one. This should all be level. That's important. See where we are. Yeah, the sawmill is more straight ahead, which is actually a good thing because that means I don't have to make a weird connection out of this, which is actually very, very helpful. Okay. Think it should come up. Yeah, it's on the left there. Actually, I see a little bit of it, so let's just cut it off here. I'm hoping I can get a relatively straight connection from start cutting down some trees from here, because once we're done, once we're dropping off the logs, we may just have to, at some point you have to get rid of the material or the products that you're producing, because your factories will fill up. So you have to do something with that. The first thing that you can do, or the only thing that you can do, is go back to the starting point. There's a warehouse. You can sell stuff there. The only place where you can do that, because everything else is just a demand-driven sale, and the warehouse will just take anything that you drop off there, which is pretty neat, I think. Just such a nice straight line. Love it. Let's see if I can make this still straight enough. So constant grade, if I click you in there, and then, yeah, no, I can't make it perfectly straight. And as you can see, this is not going to work. Where I wanted it, no chance. No chance. Not even a little bit. I have to have this one at least curved to the right a smidge. Otherwise, it's just not going to play ball. Constant grade, more in the middle. That looks good. Get me a slight right turn. It doesn't have to be a lot, but I can't use the curve that I had here. So somewhere in here is going to be a crossing, probably. Otherwise, I have to move the switchback that I have right now. That's fine. And this, honestly, this doesn't look like this is a problem. But where we're going. Yeah, so the sawmill is set up in a way that there is a pond to our left that we have to drop stuff into. And the sawmill itself, let's just go to here because I don't want to change the grade. There's a pond here. We have to drop off stuff into this pond. That's the main thing. And then there is a pickup station for the lumber on the other side, which is where we can get this stuff from. So, yeah. Let's set this one up first, shall we? And again, last time I played, this was very different. Can I not click on you? No, I can't. Okay. Up. Right there is where I want you. Okay, that looks good. Now I would like constant grade and go from there to... Nope, that's not high enough. I want it a little higher. Count works, variable grade. From here, 1, 2, 3. Right there's good. 0 degrees. Yay. Can't make you straight yet. Did a bad job. That looks better. So this is going to be the level we're going to be at for this whole trip, I hope. Yeah, that's good. This is good. This is a good level because it's above the ground pretty much anywhere. And here's a weird decision that you have to make. At some point you have to get to the iron ore mine. This is one way to get there, over there. But to get there, you have to make a pretty convoluted train or rail section. That is, first time I tried it took me forever, and I didn't do a very good job. So we'll see how this works this time. The times when the brake train, you need to walk on the roofs. Yes, I did some shunting in the derail valley with disconnecting brakes. That was way... that way they don't lose pressure, so cars can still move disconnected. Yes, that was fun. I'm looking forward to playing Derail Valley again. Right now, I'm really just waiting for the passenger update. I know it's in the works, and they also have the whole simulation update, like the Derail Valley train simulator, and so just a train game. I'm very excited for all of that. I'm just waiting. I played it and I like it. I like it a lot actually. I just want the new features because I played, and just about every other update resets your money, which is quite annoying if you really care about your saves, which I don't, but it does make a difference. Let's take these back because they weren't straight enough. Okay, here's a trick. If you definitely want something to be straight, but you can't guarantee it, you can put one of these crossings in, like this. Then you connect your rail on the same flip on this side, and here, right there, now this is a straight piece. And now you can click Alt or left Alt and get a straight line from where you were, and you just delete that little crossing piece in just a second. There we go. Hit the thing. Now this is straight track. You just delete that extra piece that we just added, and you have perfectly straight track here right now. The other thing you can do is you can connect another piece of this over here. I actually do that right now. I'm not gonna finish it, but you can connect another piece right here, and now you can use that for your parallel track right next to this. Very simple, very easy to do, but very effective. I may actually do that right now. I'm kind of in the mood for that. So go over here, just so we have the right level, and then how should I? Probably there. Honestly, no. Probably here. Let's just cut over what we already have a little bit. So this is just one area. Over a little bit. Go there. Go, it won't let me, that's fine. Go here, and then just make a nice straight line. And now you can make this a small little rail yard. You don't have to use it, but at some point you will have more wagons than you can use, and this will be a really nice nice helper to deal with those wagons, just to park them here, or to be able to get around the wagons that are parked by the lake. Okay. Again, this is perfectly parallel track right now. To connect those two to the junctions is another challenge. I don't think I'm going to do that today, but this gets me at least started here. Get another crossover. Go. I had to do this, otherwise this next piece of rail would have been double tracked and I would delete the wrong piece. Now I placed this wrong. Nope, stop it. Cool. Rail 3 foot from there to there, straight. You can make this pretty if you want. OCD. OCD is either your friend or your enemy for this game, but it allows it. if you're willing, you can. Great, 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 great. Now I have to figure out how to get back to the place where I was, which is somewhere there. It's actually not a bad location. I actually like it. Let's take the train or the connection from over here and see, like, I'm thinking that I can make a curve that actually connects to this just fine. I just have to be able to find the right level that we need. So groundwork, constant grade. See how far we can get. What we got going on here, Barton? At times when you break a train, yes. Did some shunting to your value, yes. Why do Russians show some strange things? Yes, I don't know. I don't know if you're referring to the text that some of the accounts have left in the chat a couple times now, or if it's something different. But yes, agreed. Okay, so this is the height that I want to get to, which I'm going to leave here, and I will use actually a constant grade from right here to try to get that connected to where we are here. And now I'm going to get it down. 1% I think is totally acceptable. You can't even see that, and that's perfect. This is all I want. So now I need to get this whole thing into a nice enough curve to actually connect to the thing where we are, which this may be a better approach than what we have. Groundworks, demolish, get rid of you, all this stuff. So let's see. This turn is not too sharp. I like it. Turn this one off. And this is nice and flat, so that's good. Let's take the saw out. Good. What's the Russian do some? I'll be going. Bye. Thanks, Barton. Good to see you. See you in the chats. And then here, a little more cleanup. I think if I want this to work, I have to start from this side and actually build the turnout first, which is very doable. Just have to do it. Okay. Guess what we're gonna do? A little bit of trickery. First, let's build the switch. It's just a fake switch. This is not. You're doing the wrong thing, there, buddy. Not groundworks. Rail. Yes. Delete that. Good. Then track right switch. Put that here. Much better. Now this is my connection where I'm going to get stuff to. I'm going to connect a straight piece, which is this crossover right here. There's math and there's not math, but there's some stuff that you can do to actually make sure that this is perfect. I don't care about perfect because I'm still just me. Just connect that guy over there. Now if I put a switch right here, a left switch with a left, yeah, that's good. Right here, then this connection is already made. This is perfectly connected right there, and that's all we want. On this side, however, I have to back up a little bit, but you can freehand this pretty well. Let me do the thing. There you go, thank you. You can freehand this pretty well, and I'm going to make it a little easier by adding a crossover first, gives me enough straightness. Then I can use that to make my first connection, like that, and then just make a very, very slight turn into this guy. Is that perfect? Nope, but it's more than adequate, and I am happy with it. So now we have the connection here. Why did I need to do that first? Because I wanted to see where my connection can start, and it starts right here. And now I have to actually build the groundwork out to get this one turned around before we run into the mountain. So here we go. I feel that we will have more than enough room to make this happen, but again, this is important that you don't turn too sharply, because then you will simply just derail, and nobody needs that. And it's really hard to keep track of how sharp you're currently turning. Just part of the game. So if you can stay above ground more, I recommend doing it. But as you can see, I'm not doing that at all here. So, oh well. Now here is a turn that I know we have right after we're changing the incline just a little bit. And yeah, I think if we just go to here, and now I add more grade, this time constant grade, I can adjust that a little bit, because we have so much room right here that I don't feel that I have to worry about this. And even at a half a grade, should be fine. There we go. That's all I wanted. So now this is a much smoother incline and should be much easier to climb for the Loco. And that's important. Take some trees out. Out. Very good. I'm going to leave that groundwork where it is. It looks a little ugly, but I think it's fine. And now I just have to get the rail connected to here, to our current junction point, which at this point we haven't even finished yet. We don't even know if that's going to work, but this groundwork has to go. Groundwork, yes, demolish. That one, that one, that one, that one. Because this will simply confuse me if it's still here later. Okay, that's better. SMI, or you could use the radius tool and know what radii you have. It doesn't need to be a guess. You can. I just find that if you use that, and I said that at the very beginning, if you use the radius tool, you have so many attempts to do it right, and it often takes multiple attempts to get there, where if you do it freehand, yes, you don't know what the radius is right away, but I didn't have to redo it all the time, because I'm pretty sure that the radius we have right now is fine. It's not constant, which for OCD people will be a problem, because it won't be as pretty as if you use the radius tool. So I use the radius tool when I have a lot more room. In this case, I just needed to make sure that it actually fits into the area that I had available. But yes, the radius tool is an option, totally is. And you can make it work, but it takes a little longer to get it right. Unless you know what radius you have, and I don't have any tools that will tell me what the correct radius is. However, I heard the developers saying that there are better track lane tools planned, so I'm excited to see what those are. Take that one out, take this one out, and maybe this will be terrible, and then I may redo everything with the radius tool anyways, but I hope we'll be fine. Little juice. Wonderful. Ideally, also, I would like to be able to have a track here that connects to that station over there. I'm not sure that we're going to get that out of this, and it's just a good reason to redo something. Okay, there's our straight piece, and then we have to start going right. Now, it's easier to do your turns if you take really long chunks out of your turn, because then the game is better at adjusting the turning more smoothly. If you do really short pieces, the game doesn't really know what you're trying to do, and then the turns get worse. This feels good so far. The train may disagree, but for right now, this is good. Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. It was also, I think Kerbo was the one, he subscribed to the channel now too, which is exciting. But Kerbo was the one that convinced me that the curvature tool is great, but the by hand tool is a lot more efficient. It's not better looking, but it gets you to a good enough result a lot faster. It never gets you to a perfect result, but that's not what I'm here for. I am actually pretty happy about this, and I think I see the track at the end of here. Okay, I have to start putting in the junction pretty much right now. So stop all this, rid of this tree, of all these trees, actually. And we'll see where I can put the junction in that will actually function. Okay, so there's one. If I put a junction right where I'm at, that may be my best bet, honestly. Just have to go to the right a little more aggressively, but that's fine. Actually, no. Before I do this, let's go to this side and make a left turn that seems appropriate. Simeon? OCD is a real deal. I really hate how random snapping is in workers and resources. It is almost random. You are able to control it a little bit, but yes, no, I hear you. It's one of the reasons why I just don't bother with making workers and resources the prettiest game ever. Like, City Skyline is doing a wonderful job at making the game look pretty effortlessly. Workers and resources is on the other end of the spectrum for that, and my sanity and my time is too precious to try it any other way. Okay, I think I can put the switch in here. Where do I want you? I think I want you on that side. Yes, I'm actually happy with that. Let's get this connected in the right place. Yes. Then let's get the rail in here from there to there. Very good. This I know is going to be nice connection and no problems at all. This one is the one I'm a little worried about. I may have to actually back up a little bit, but let's see how this goes. Straight, right turn, right turn. And these are the worst to use the radius tool for. I've never been able to make a nice turn in existing junction. When you start planning one out, that's fine, but that usually means you already plan on it being a certain radius and you just build it around that, which is totally possible, but I've never been able to make a nice working junction like that. As you just saw, I also can't do it when I do it freehand, so this is just a problem in itself. Left, 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 left. Okay. Stop it. There you go. There you go. I don't know if this is gonna work. It may be too tight. It may be too tight, and I can't even tell you if this is gonna be right or wrong because I haven't driven a train over it at this point. That one's definitely not gonna work. That connection's bad, that connection's bad, that connection's bad. I think we're really close, though. I think we're really close. And the problem is, if I need to change this, it's not just taking this back. I would technically have to move this to the left a little bit. And I would like to avoid that if I could at all. So let's see if I can do this one more time, just a little better. That's good. That's probably fine. That feels fine. How are we? I think this is usable. Usable is not perfect, but it's usable, I think. Happy enough already, at least for what we're doing here, because it's a live stream and I don't want to make you sit through a lot of that if you don't absolutely have to. So, okay, now light turn again, light turn again, light turn again, and this one does not. So it doesn't like to connect like that. It wants to connect to straight piece, and I didn't come in straight enough, so it's try. Ooh, deleted the wrong piece there, didn't I? There's a somewhat straight piece. That should be fine. This should be a pretty easy reinstall because it's just one piece. Rail, yes. Left to the left. Looks good. I said it's a pretty easy install, not that it's going to be complicated. Try again. You go there. This actually looks pretty bad, but it worked. So there's that. There's my standard for how these rails have to work. They just have to work. That, like that, and then pretty straight. How we feel about this? Honestly, that's usable. Yeah, that's totally usable. That's fine. All right. This looks fine and usable. Demolish some groundwork here that we don't need anymore. That'll look a little nicer. Same for you. That looks good. Clean up a little bit. Drop off the logs that we have. And then I think we've done it. I think we've done all the things that we set out to do today, which I know we didn't say what those things were. But I feel pretty accomplished. That means something, right? Constant stone wall, yes. Make this prettier. Like that. Set this to the correct side. That's important. Yep. Get to our train. Switch the switch, because right now it's turning to the left. It needs to turn to the other side. And then we go. If you don't mind me asking, how fast could one go in this game and terms of train speed? I have no idea. There's no speedometer, odometer. There's no way to tell how fast you're going. It's just a feel, which I'm pretty sure all trains also go different speeds at all times. So I have no clue. Yeah, that fire was out. We have a little bit of steam, so we should be able to move. But not very fast. I would like my... There. Need that crossback. Full steam ahead. Get this view. Yeah. We're just out of steam, that's the problem. So our water temperature is still fine. The boiler pressure is actually pretty good for what I expected to see. Alright. I guess we're good. Now, don't derail. Also, don't go at full speed around these turns, because I haven't tested them before. Which derailing is not the end of the world, but it's not great. I think we'll be fine, though. It's like almost a smooth turn. I like it. No, not a lot of wiggle. The wagons look pretty happy. Yeah, this is gonna work. Great. Okay, now full speed until we get to the next turn. A little more juice. Speed is capped quite low for testing. Is it? Is it really? I never noticed it. It's more that the train can't pull this load very fast. But hey, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. So yeah, I don't want to go too fast, because what we also have to do after this at some point is connect the piece that we just came in to be a return course effectively. So we're coming in this way. I don't want to push it back, so I would like to connect to the straight piece that we just were on. Went to the wrong place. No! Oh, I did it. But I need to start braking here. F. Yes. Hitting the brakes. And we have nowhere near enough run out to probably unload all of these wagons, maybe. Actually... Oh wow, I just hit the brake at the right time, I think. That is impressive. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? I didn't make it. I don't know why that's so funny, but that's funny to me. You guys, can you just please stay? I don't want you to back up that far. Thank you. Wonderful. I did hear that you press now enter to toggle. Oh, none. It's nothing. So if I go into game options, controls, toggle unload, enter. Cool. Apparently that was a thing that they changed too. I don't know why there's no default to it, but that's fine. So do this. Cool. Ah! Don't kick me off. Do the same thing here, same thing here, and the same thing here. So all of these can do their thing. We look at our money. Oh, is it 10 bucks per thing? Oh, it's 10 bucks per thing now. That's nice. So that whole load gave us 240 bucks. Beautiful. 24 logs, 240 bucks. Yay! That's pretty neat. Betsy, you're just in the wrong place right now, but let's see. Yeah, you're not gonna go backwards, are you? I should just let you roll a little bit, but I was worried about a bunch of things, so... Okay, Betsy, can I please re-rail you from there? Just put you over here. Just for right now, I don't need you. But yes, so the plan is we need to put another junction in here, just to connect that rail again. And then we have to go all the way around. There's a hill here that we have to watch out for. We have to go all the way around to where we just came from and just connect back into that rail. And honestly, there probably needs to be a 90 degree crossing here, because I also want to get into that valley that you see there where the smelter is. So I have to be able to get back here. That's actually a much better plan than I had last time, but gonna take some work. Gonna take some work, and I don't have time for that today. The devs mentioned it in stream. Okay, understood. I'll believe you. So yeah, I think we've done everything we needed today. I am a lot happier with the things that we got done today than I've done in the last save that I did on this one, like a couple months ago, before something came out. Oh, before Farm Sim came out. That's what I played before Farm Sim. But I think we're on a really good path. I need to get a rail connection over here. Get my X back. Over here on that loading station. That has to come around here. That has to join up with whatever track we're going to pull out from this loading line, which probably will be somewhere around here. And from there, we have to connect back up into that section out there with an X crossing or 90 degree crossing somewhere in this area. All of that is very doable and possible and very fun. Just have to get to it. I'm tempted. What are we? 9:30. Yeah, I don't think I have time for this, do I? Constant great. From here. Just want to see where we are. It doesn't have to be straight or perfect or any of that stuff, but a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Oh, are we actually a little lower than that track? Oh, this is not bad. We can totally... Oh, we are on this track height. Beautiful. That is better than expected. And then this has to just be, again, at a similar height, because if you can, keep your track on level without going too high above ground level, at least like wherever you have a choice to they have a choice. So yeah, put you on here, get you straight, connect you. That looks really good. Honestly, I'm happy with that. And then you, I don't think we can get away here, but we have constant grade, so I can't actually use this guy in this area. But what I want, actually it is still leveled. What I want is to connect to this track out here. Oh, we are just a tiny bit, even at a 1/4% grade, it's not going to work. We are a tiny bit off, but that's fine. That's something we can easily adjust. But what I want is put another switch in here. One goes straight and one goes left here. I think we can. I think this is an area where that's actually really possible. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah, that's good. No. You know what? That's all I had. I thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. There was a lot more of you watching today than I expected to see, and I'm very grateful for that. I would like to see some numbers here, but yeah, no, this is good. You have been, as usual, an awesome companion. Oh, the wagons are finally decided that they want to go this way. Even though I don't feel like there's an incline on this, but this is great. Hump yard. No, that was fun. I like it. Yeah, no, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, maybe consider liking, subscribing, doing all that stuff to this caper. I do it not all the time, but often enough when I have time. Tonight I had time. Next week I may not, so I'm not going to say I stream regularly, but I do release videos regularly on this and other things, especially around trains. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, I'm your guy, hopefully. Until next time, really appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you again soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.